Ever since Reddit has come into existence, movie superfans have had a forum to conjure up and share their own ideas on films, with a community supporting them while doing so. While most of them are totally out to lunch, there are some that actually hold up. Some people have even made a living off of studying movies in depth and creating new theories. One such theorist is John Negroni, who wrote a book entitled The Pixar Theory. In this theory, he states that every single Pixar movie is not only interconnected, but one continual story out of order. It all starts with the movie Brave. Set sometime around the 14th century in Scotland, young Merida is led by the Wisps to a witch in the woods. The witch is the key in the Pixar universe as to why inanimate objects have the ability to talk. She has the ability to turn doors into portals, bring objects to life, and make animals talk. She turns Merida's mother into a bear. This is the first time we will see animals behaving like humans in the Pixar universe, but certainly not the last. But who is this witch in the forest, and where did she come from? We know she has magic and disappears through doors. We'll circle back to her later on. In The Incredibles, there are some vague conversations about the government experimenting and creating the supers. But the only true way that the supers can exist is through magic and human manipulation. The same magic that turned Merida's mother into a bear has been infused with the DNA of the Incredibles to give them their superhuman abilities. In the movie, their nemesis syndrome creates two things to bring the end of the superhero reign: advanced AI technology and high-tech zero-point energy. When these two technologies combine, we begin to see machines develop a sense of self, and they start destroying their only threat: superheroes. This leads to the creation of the BNL Corporation. As we eventually see in WALL-E, the BNL Corporation eventually take over the planet. But before that happened, they started a toy company. The BNL toys begin to absorb and draw power from the zero-point energy, which creates toys that come to life and become sentient, much like the brooms and tools in Brave. We start to see these toys question their purpose in Toy Story 2, with Jessie resenting her owner Emily for abandoning her. The same magic and energy is in the sea life of Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. Not only do they have a full range of emotions, but they also have the ability to plot and plan great escapes and grand adventures. We also see that they are highly intelligent. Their schools, networks, and freeway systems rival that of humanity's. Animals begin to be smarter with more human characteristics, and we see through Dory that exposure to humans speeds up the process. She grows up in captivity, and as a result, she can read and learn other languages, like whale. In Ratatouille, the rats have become completely submerged in human culture, so much that they are beginning to experiment with their growing intelligence. Remy is showing this next level in animal evolution by controlling Linguini, using him to cook and read. It's possible that the knowledge of animals becoming intelligent was received by Charles Muntz, the villain in Up. He then used this knowledge to develop technology to harness the thoughts of animals and subsequently control them. In the beginning of Up, Carl is forced out of his home due to the overdevelopment of his neighborhood by none other than the BNL Corporation. It appears that the world is in the midst of an industrial revolution that will shape the next century. By 2057, BNL has taken over the world and its governments. They have ravaged the planet and its resources. By 2105, the planet is so overpopulated and polluted that humanity leaves on a ship called the Axiom, leaving behind WALL-E units to clean up the planet so they can return. This plan backfires when the disposal of all machines pollutes the planet so much more that the Earth becomes completely uninhabitable and mankind are forced to remain on the ship. With humans gone, machines start to take over. The Cars franchise shows this Earth and a decaying, dying planet being inhabited by machines. At this time, the world is in an energy crisis, as oil is running in short supply with the sheer amount of cars and machines. Years later, Wall-E is now the only machine left on Earth after it has been completely drained of all resources. With his obsession with humanity, he finds hope for the Earth in the form of a plant, in a shoe. This single plant eventually allows all the humans aboard the Axiom to return to Earth to start a new beginning. During the credits of Wall-E, we see that the plant in the shoe has grown into a mighty tree. It's the same tree that we see in A Bug's Life. These bugs, due to genetic mutation and the continual evolution we have seen in animals, are smarter, stronger, and continually evolving. They have created entire civilizations. One ant tells Flick not to leave the island because there are snakes, birds, and bigger bugs out there. They don't mention humans because there are very few humans, and they don't pose any threat to insects. Over 1,000 years later, humanity has rejuvenated the Earth, and these insects and animals have evolved into the monsters from Monsters, Inc. The monsters use doors which act as portals that take them to children's bedrooms, where they collect the children's screams to use as energy. Now we assume these doors are taking the monsters into parallel dimensions, but really, these doors are taking the monsters back in time, back to when humans were most plentiful on the planet. This would be the end of the theory if it wasn't for Boo, the little girl in Monsters, Inc. who finds herself in the monsters world. She and Sully found unlikely friends in one another. And when Boo is sent back to her world, she wanted to find a way back to Sully. So she became a witch. That's right, Boo is the witch from Brave. We can even see a carving of Sully in her workshop. And the carving of the planet delivery truck that never would have existed in this time definitely point towards the fact that she is from the future. She figured out how to use doors to travel through time to ancient Scotland to find the wisps that she believes started all the magic of the universe. She wants to use the wisps to take her back to Sully, which is why when Merida comes back to find her, she's gone. Hopefully back to the time of the monsters, to be with her best friend.